Hello there. I've been giving Muslims a lot of stick recently, so I think it would only be fair if I had a little bash at Christians too. I think that Christianity in many ways is just as bad as Islam. One of the problems with Islam is that it's integrated with an ancient Middle Eastern culture, one which I don't think has a place in the 21st century. So when Muslims live in the Western world, they hang on to these values for nostalgia or just because granddad did it or something. So I can just about forgive them for doing so. Whereas Christians, on the other hand, should know a lot better, having been brought up in a free, liberal society. Christians should understand that their beliefs should not be put on other people, and that lawmaking should have nothing to do with what they think. I don't understand how a country like America, with a secular constitution, can be hijacked by religious groups. I think it's extremely worrying that in the free world these people have such power. When they do things like wanting to ban abortion, it makes me sick to my stomach. What right does a religious group have to legislate what a woman does with her body? When they want to teach creationism in schools, when they want to ban gay marriage, things like this, when they want to limit stem cell research and the advancement of science. All these things are incredibly dangerous. I'm sure Muslims do these too, but like I said, they still have a bit of an ancient custom and culture to them, whereas Christians live in the 21st century, so they should know way better than to behave the way that they do. Another reason why they scare the crap out of me is because they believe in the rapture, and as a result treat the earth with disdain. They think that the earth is here as God's gift, and that the resources are here to be used up because the end times are coming soon and Jesus will be down with all of his homeboys, so we might as well just drive Hummers around and fucking pollute the environment, you know? Global warming is real, by the way. I think that people do overplay it, but the simple fact of the matter is humans produce carbon emissions heat up the environment, and we are fricking doing damage to the world. And it's this religious mentality that the earth is here for us, which will probably lead to us fucking up in the near future. Also Israel, why do Christians have so much interest in it? I've always said that if there's ever going to be a third world war, I wouldn't be surprised if Israel is involved, and that will all have been exacerbated by Christians who want the Jews to hold a certain part of Israel, so Jesus will come back. All of these terrible things are done because of Christians. The issue for me is, living in the UK, is that Christians, I think, are put rightly in their place, in that they are treated exactly the same as everybody else. If me, an atheist, wanted to say something like gay people make me fucking sick, they're disgusting, I would rightly be told off for it. Whereas in the past, a religious person, a Christian person, could say something like that and get away with it. Well, not anymore. I think this country's got its act together and told Christians to mind their own business and shut up. A good example of this is the BBC, which is a publicly funded television channel. A few years ago broadcasted the Jerry Springer musical, which is apparently extremely blasphemous, and Christian pressure groups were outraged. Perhaps understandably so, because they were ultimately paying for this show to be broadcasted by themselves. But what the BBC said was, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people can't enjoy it. And it sent Christians a wonderful message that you're just like everybody else. And that's probably why I make videos about Islam, because I don't think for a second the BBC would ever broadcast Gert Wilder's film Fitna, you know, because Muslims would be offended. And you know, that is exactly why I put a lot more of my attention towards Muslims than I do Christians, because at least here in the UK, unlike in the United States, Christians don't get special treatment. If ever a Christian moans about being a victim of prejudice, all that means is that they're just like everybody else now, and they can't get away with the homophobic, sexist crap that they could before. But for some reason, Muslims can still get away with being homophobic and sexist, and I think one of the reasons is because Christians are white and they can't play the race card. If you insult Islam, then you can be perceived as anti-immigration or racist, whereas if you just have a go at Christianity, people just think, oh, he just doesn't like Christianity. Why is it that I can't just have a go at Islam and people treat me the same kind of way as if I'm having a go at Christianity. Like in America, it seems trendy to bash Christians, yet not Muslims, and I just find it very worrying because Muslims do group together more than other minorities do. I've always asked the question, why isn't there a black Bradford or an Italian Tooting Bec or a Polish Blackburn? You know, you don't get these segregated societies of other nationalities, and therefore there isn't the same kind of political power, whereas Muslims don't seem to integrate quite as well. I'm stereotyping a bit. There are obviously lots of Muslims who integrate very well into our society, and good on them. But again, there are massive places such as Bradford where the population is overwhelmingly Muslim, and like in America with Christians, they have a lot of political clout, and when I look at Christians in America and the kind of political damage that they do with their beliefs, I can see that in Muslims in this country, and that's what worries me. I don't need to make videos about Christians because they are treated like everybody else here, but if I was living in America, I would make such videos about Christians, but instead I live in England and I have Muslims to worry about their ways and how they affect lawmaking and the way in which we think and speak. So yeah, I mean, I think Christians are just as bad as Muslims, but they're not my problem. They're America's problem.